Cookup. Hey, you, right there. Y'all see it. Watch this video to the end, boy.
It's not a podcast.
Alright, so I've been working like day and night and day real hard. My Monday through Fridays is like crazy, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, because my kids are homeschooled. Being a business owner or being an independent, you're able to do a lot of things that most people with a 9-to-5 can't do. You know what I'm saying? For example, I get to spend more time with my kids. So my kids are homeschooled, like I said. And so my Monday through Fridays, I like to build my schedule literally around my children. It's been like that since day one, since they started school to now. So with that said, my day-to-day activity is always a constant. It's always something to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like this week, I've been doing vlogs, editing vlogs. We putting together a lot of cool stuff that we're going to bring to the channel. I'm overly excited. Everybody that's involved is overly excited. And I want to look directly into the camera. Buckle up. It's about to get real very, very soon. I'm excited because this is something I always want to do on this channel. I've talked about it numerous times. We are on the brink of bringing what I've been honing and what I've been working on all this time. It's starting to come into fruition. I don't want to speak too much. I just rather show. Because oftentimes, you know, in this line of work, it's a lot of people that hide behind their egos and hide behind accolades or whatever the case may be, whatever floats your boat. But in this case, it's no secret. I always want to do movies. It's no secret that I've been trying hard, really, really hard for the longest time. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I have in my archives that will tell you a lot more about this journey, but we're going to save it because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to present it to you guys. But this is not what this episode is about. I thought This Is Not a Podcast will definitely be appropriate for this. Notice that I haven't said, yo, Dennis here back with another episode of This Is Not a Podcast. You already know what the lick read. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification button, just for the record. And so I decided to name tonight's episode, sometimes you have to do it wrong in order to get it right. Tonight's episode will be titled, You Have to Do It Wrong to Do It Right. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I mean. I've been talking about this off the camera and off the record with a few of my peers and a few people that I work with behind the scenes. And we embarking on this new journey. Everybody's excited from top to bottom. And so I thought I'd take this time to make this a vlog. I owe you guys quite a few vlogs, so pardon the tardiness, but you know, I've been working behind the scenes, believe me. And this is episode 3 of 3 Feet No Pressure is in the vault. I think we got episode 3 and 4 I'm carving up. A couple episodes of a few of our shows over here, our signature shows. So I'm just a one-man band, basically. So, and we in the middle of getting a few other projects together, such as the movie we've been working on for the past year and a half behind the scenes. So I'm waiting to get this done. And this is all a part of this episode right now. And without saying too much, as far as the in and outs of what I see and what we talked about behind the scenes, I thought I would make this a video, and I'm gonna try to get through this as possible. I don't have no notes or anything like that. Normally I'll be more prepared, but I thought I'd speak from the heart when it comes to this matter. Now, I myself is a person that I don't mind starting from the bottom up. You know what I mean? I don't mind coming from the basement and working my way up. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of few people that rather take the stairs than the elevator. As crazy as that may sound in today's society, based off today's standards and et cetera, et cetera. Taking the stairs is not a bad thing because you meet a lot of people along the way. The journey is much more fulfilled than you'll feel like. I think you feel more accomplished. I think you feel more gratified in your journey if you make it to whatever you call the top or to the goal or reaching your goals. Now, yeah, the elevator looks very attractive to take because you can get to your journey faster. So in other words, it's like a shortcut. But I feel like I'm the type of person, I would rather take the stairs because eventually, do I have to take the stairs all the way up? Absolutely not. Because I figured by that time, I could learn along the way how to build my own elevator. Along the way, I can build relationships, build alliances, network, you know, basically do the work from the ground up. It's really no shortcuts in anything you do. Even if it's laid out there for you, you will find out very quickly it's no no shortcuts. So the funny thing about this journey that I'm embarking on is I try to pride myself with doing things the right way, all the way through, because a lot of times, and it often shows in certain fields, in certain professions, but in this thing of ours, as far as the magical world of film, videography, photography, it's all pretty much in the same umbrella in terms of media. And what I begin to realize is that it's a lot of individuals that cut corners. And this is not to call out anybody, but sometimes what I realized very quickly, you have to cut corners. Now, in most cases, in certain scenarios, it would be considered wrong, and because you can't, there's no shortcuts to this. But sometimes to get to the common goal, you have to make adjustments, so to speak, and not only just adjustments, but the necessary adjustments based off personnel, based off, in this case, if you're shooting a movie and you have a cast, and in my case, I'm doing a lot of things that's unconventional. I don't have not one single actor, but I have everyday people that do a lot of different things. Some of them are artists, some of them they do a lot of different things in entertainment except act. Now, for actor, like for example, if you're putting a movie out, you know that there's a screenplay or a movie script involved that you would have to read. I mean, even when you was in grade school, if you was fortunate enough to do a stage play, there would be lines you would have to remember, rehearse. If you went to church, you had to memorize that Easter speech or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? If you was in a spelling bee, you had to memorize those words. What I begin to realize is that we're all embarking on something new, whether you tried this thing or not. And I'm talking in terms of acting. And sometimes, some folks, they never did something that they never done before. Some, in any case, something you never done before, it could be overwhelming to you. It could be culture. You could be shocked by it. You could have some sort of culture shock, or you could be intimidated by something that you never done before. Like, for example, like I'm intimidated by driving an 18-wheeler truck or driving a bus, because you have to get over the fear of tearing something up, operating some crazy heavy machine, a crane for a skyscraper or something like that. And something as simple as a movie script might be simple to me. And when you're recruiting, when you're casting, especially if you're a one-man band, because I've been a one-man band for all my career for the most. I know how to do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats, and that's all based off just being a victim of circumstance. Sometimes you don't have the necessary help. You don't have the necessary avenues, so you got to figure that thing out and learn along the way. Ask the right questions to get around the right people. And by the grace of God, I was fortunate enough to have those resources that I could reach out to. Since I started this journey, I've been doing this journey in an unconventional kind of way. Everything from a lot of things I've ever done always been kind of unconventional, but the success rate speaks for itself. But this is something new. This is something that I'm very passionate about. You know what I mean? In a way, like everything that I ever done was always evolved around music, some form of entertainment, and then that passion led to my passion I've had since I was a kid, and that's to do something with movies, whether I'm directing, whether I'm acting. I never thought that I'd be editing videos or holding the camera or all these different things like that. Now, in terms of music, that's one thing, but this right here is something I always want to do. I write screenplays now. I'm self-taught in everything. So, I started my journey with writing, started with poetry, and then that led to obviously music, writing music. And now I'm writing full-blown screenplays and web series and things like that, just challenging the mind. So, and it was just like when John Singleton told Ice Cube, you can write a rap, you can write a movie. First movie ended up being Friday. And if you watch and study, Ice Cube or just film period, or just studying some of the greats, then you further know everybody had their journey, and however you got to that point, and then you stuck with it, somehow, some way is beauty in that struggle when it manifests into something beautiful, something bigger than what you thought. And I have a few instances and a few things that I don't really feel like it was by coincidence when I met certain individuals. And I'm not the type of person to name drop, that's not really my thing. But when you got actors, when you're going for an audition or something like that, or if I was pitching a script to, let's say, like whether it's a major film company or a major actor, like let's say like a Denzel Washington. Let's say I bumped into Denzel Washington hypothetically, and I pass him a script that I'm writing. Or if I'm trying to pitch a script to somebody, or I'm trying to get somebody to read it, or I'm trying to get somebody to participate in the movie, first thing they're going to do is read the script and say yay or nay, whether they want to take it on or not after reading the script. Now, along this journey, you're going to get better at everything, but you got to at least try. Being that in this case, I'm not recruiting actual actors. Some people might have had experience in acting in very various projects, maybe stage plays, Tubi movies, whatever the case, whatever they walk is. But that's the main thing but in this case, I'm not really concerned with. It's a plus, but when I begin to realize you taking everyday people, because I see sometimes I ain't gonna say sometimes, but I could see, I think it's kind of like a knack. I have a knack for pulling things out of people, meaning that certain things you might have thought you never had, certain things you probably thought you couldn't do until you do it. And that might even turn into a passion to do something, or maybe do something on your own. You never know what'll come out of it, but the experience is priceless. Now, I've worked with teenagers to test this method out to see if my knowledge was effective. Now, unfortunately, when you're doing these things, you learn it as you go, and you're doing things through trial and error. And I remember vividly teaching these kids how to read script, improv. And what I was doing something that I thought would get me to this point. And even in that time, I thought I was ready, but then it didn't happen. Sometimes God do things to where you might think you're ready, but the more you sit and let that thing marinate, you realize you're not so ready as you thought. And over time, if you work at certain things, you become stronger, you become better. I was watching some of my previous work when I was starting out as a videographer. When I first started and I was getting my chops up, doing the inner field, the running guns, and working with every and anybody that would allow me to show my work. That's what I did at that time. And I noticed that I got a glimpse of what I can do just by watching my old videos. I noticed the hunger. If I could take that hunger from that guy that was hungry, just wanting to just get his chops up, and take that same hunger and that same drive and add it with the skill set that I have now, I have no doubt in my mind what will come out of anything that I do at this point would be it could be pretty good, you know what I mean? In this particular journey, without saying too much, because we got it, I just wanted not just to be an element of surprise, but I don't like to do too much talking when I'm in the middle of something. I'd rather just show it, and then we can talk about it after. But just to kind of give a little bit more detail on what I'm talking about, because I've been prepping you guys, all my OGs out there, and I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you're watching this video up until this point, and I encourage you to watch this video to the end, because I want you to get this. What I began to realize is that, when you forcing something, like doing it the right way, presenting this piece to the people, doing the right things as far as going, just trying to do things the right way in terms of casting, in terms of emailing the scripts out so people could read it, doing all the necessary things that you need to do, almost by the book. Now that a year goes by, I begin to realize that that's not the approach that I should be taking for somebody that's, they don't have no experience, know nothing about what they're about to get into, but yet it sounds intriguing to make you want to give it a shot and want to do it. I realized that it is another method to get to the common goal. Doing it this way, doing it the right way, I will continue to sit on the bench. Now, it could be very pricey if you go get actors, paid actors, and things of that sort, and that'll be even longer. But if you're doing a little to no budget type of film, although the budget goes to camera crew, production, rentals, and all these different costs, maybe even catering or everything remotely behind the scenes just to get to this one common goal. I'm like, do I stay at a standstill and stay firm and just doing it the right way? The answer is yes and no. Yes, I'm gonna continue to do it the right way. And no, based off my personnel and the criteria and what am I dealing with to pull the best out of people, you gotta do it the wrong way. Again, but if it's unconventional, it can't be more righter, if that makes sense. And that's what I mean by having to do things the wrong way to get it right. And not from a negative standpoint, but in this case, in this scenario, not any other scenario, like I'm not saying go commit a crime, rob Peter to pay Paul. And I got an interesting story about something like that, a similar situation with a known director that I met in the airport. But I'm gonna save that for another time. It's another conversation, but it's got everything to do with that. And I just realized that in this journey so far, I feel the closest I've ever been, without being too anxious and overly ambitious about everything, but do it. I just realized that, to get to the common goal, I could have got to this faster if I paid attention to what's in front of me. I'm already doing things in an unconventional way. I'm already going against the grain as far as what it takes to put a film together. So I began to realize, like most indie films, they just go. And I don't want to say too much about how to get to the goal, because there's a million ways to skin a cat. This is no way, form, or fashion do I encourage people to do it this way unless it works for you. And I would elaborate more, but I am literally in real time and I'm in it. I'm just telling you my inner thoughts of how I feel about this whole thing. And I just had an epiphany that sometimes you gotta do it the wrong way to do it the right way. Meaning, you may have to take the wrong approach with it in terms of getting your cast together prep. A lot of people don't rehearse. A lot of people do things on the fly or they wing it some kind of way. And I'm not saying just to go here commando and just do it like that, but a lot of people do that though. And so I came up with a plan to execute the plan. A lot more faster, a lot more efficient, not losing quality and an integrity or in the integrity of the piece. With the help of a few people and a minimal cast, I think I can pull this theory off. And we're gonna revisit this conversation. We will definitely see the results because the results will be simple. You will see the content right here. You will be able to see this content right here on PowerCircle TV. And not only that, but another channel as well, because I do have collaborators and we've come together I'm going to elaborate with it. We're going to be doing behind the scenes things, talking about this journey all the way through. But for now, I want you guys to watch the episodes of 3 Feet No Pressure, where I talk about my journey as a producer. You get to see a lot of vintage clips that I've had in the archives to kind of tell the story in real time. I narrated, you hearing it in my own words. We also have In the Stew season 4 coming up. I got a few episodes already. I already hit in the vault. So you're gonna see a couple familiar faces and a couple new faces as well. And we're also gearing up for other studio sessions when we go back to Chicago. Want to put you guys on a couple new artists. Might even check out a couple events. Who knows what season 4 will bring. But what I will say is be looking out for these other projects that's on the horizon. Now I'm gonna give you a little taste of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I want y'all to let me know in the comments as I go. And I'm pretty sure you will, because I want to really know what you guys want to see, what you like, don't like, what I could have did. I'm accepting all critique. You know what I mean? I got leather skin. I'm not tripping. But I feel very strongly about where we're going. And we can only get better. And I'm speaking on behalf of everybody that's involved in all these different pieces that's coming together. Back to the discussion at hand. I'm going to take a new approach in this journey. And and we already stepping out on faith. We already doing something we ain't never done before. So that's what makes it even cooler. I just feel like I'm on the cusp of cracking this thing wide open. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. All those long days and long nights will be very worth it. The fact that I practiced the right things is setting me up for something bigger, and I really believe that. You know what I mean? You gotta believe that. It all starts with you first. You gotta believe. So this new method that I'm embarking on, because like I said, I try to pride myself. We don't always get it right, but I ain't never been in favor of doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So I always like to pride myself on this. When you dealing with a certain amount of people that doesn't have the same ambitions or goals, but you see something in them, so you willing to do the work, you willing to do the wrong things just to pull something special out of these special people. Because everybody that I talk to, everybody that I ever reached out to, or anybody ever reached out to me, I see something special in each and every one of these people. They're not actors, they're not actresses. For the most. They always wanted to do it. I mean, none of us went to acting school. None of us went to film school. Except for a few of us went to film school and got degrees. But me, I'm from the bottom. School of hard knocks. I do some of everything. Self-taught everything. I don't like to be talking about myself too much just to toot my own horn. But it is what it is. You can hear it from them. What I would say is, even a person with a 4-year bachelor's degree in cinematography, whatever, told me they learned more from me within a year's time than they did in 4 years. That right there, I don't give myself a pound on the back, but I just thank God for allowing me to be a vessel, because I know nothing about this. And to teach somebody that knows everything, went to school for this, and can tell me that, all because of my approach. And I learn from everybody. I'm not a person that's like full of knowledge. I don't know everything. This is just my journey. I'm learning as I go. And whatever knowledge I pick up along the way, I try to make, whatever knowledge I obtain, I try to make it better, and I try to add on to it. So this thing of ours, this journey of mine, has been fruitful in a lot of ways, and I haven't got to the pinnacle of anything just yet, but I see it so clear. And so I want to share this message with you guys and make this This Is Not a Podcast episode, because it's been a while. I got a lot of other topics I want to touch on, and I probably get around to them because, like I said, I've been filming on and off, deleting footage, scrapping stuff. So it's been a journey, because I knew this day would come, because we're doing a lot of projects that's a lot bigger. So it takes a lot of time away from me creating this content. So for that, I apologize. I feel like I'm still consistent no matter what. It's just the workload is getting bigger and bigger. I'm taking it one day at a time. As much as I feel like I'm behind, we're right on schedule. because, you know, that's just the pace that I work. Sometimes you got to do it wrong to get it right in this case. Although I totally understand, but this is a new journey for me. I developed a new passion along the way that I never knew that I would develop, you know, because it's always been about music. So the fact that we're here in this moment is everything up until this point. So at this point, sky's the limit. So now I'm gonna leave it right there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. We can only get better. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you made it this far, please tell a friend to tell a friend, because we trying to get these watch hours up. We trying to get everybody here. We trying to get our subscribers back that we lost, and we trying to gain even more than that. And I pray that we get to this in a record-breaking time zone. And I'm not rushing anything, because I appreciate the journey. I appreciate everything, because this is what builds the character. And I don't have all the answers, and I'm not social media savvy all the way, because originally I'm really not a social media guy, but I am learning. This is where I'm at right now, and we're gonna crack this YouTube code one way or another, and I need your help. I can't do it by myself, and we want to let YouTube know to keep us in that algorithm, and we want to get them numbers up. I appreciate y'all, and I would really appreciate it if you would just do me a solid by coming over here to PowerCircle. If you want to know any and everything about what's going on right now, the best way to do that is to come over here. It's Black History Month. We shall overcome, but we can't overcome until we come over. So once again, keep God first, stay sucker free, and by all means, get to the money. Peace and love, stay healthy, and I'm out this joint.
Love and tell, I don't know what you're waiting. Sitting by the corner, or looking at your smart TV. Your laptop or computer or whatever you use to. Just go over to YouTube.